Alright, so in the last lecture, I left off saying the word pip, okay? And you're probably wondering, oh, what is this pip? I mean, I don't think I've talked about pip before, but basically what pip is, it allows us to install Python packages or Python modules, okay? And by install, I mean really simply, in one line, we can install any package or module that we want. So to verify, you're like, hey, how do I get this pip? This pip seems really cool. And I agree, pip is an amazing tool. And I'll be showing you how we can check to see if we have it. So if you remember, I believe in the beginning of this course, I talked about how the whole course is based on Python 3.4. And in the latest update in Python 3.4, pip is now being packaged with the Python. So you don't have to download any pip externally. There's no need for downloading some random .py file and running it, all that manual trouble. There's no need for that anymore, okay? And it's great. It makes our life a lot more easier. So what I want you to do is go into your Macintosh HD, all right? If you're not sure what that is, just search that up, or if you're on a Mac at least, I want you to go to your Macintosh HD. For Windows users, stay put. I'll tell you what you need to do. In your Macintosh HD, go to your library. All right. From library, go to frameworks. From frameworks, the Python.framework. From here, versions, and from versions 3.4. That's the version we're using. And then over here, I want you to go to lib. So lib is short form for library. From lib, I want you to go to Python 3.4. And then from Python 3.4, scroll all the way down to site packages. And you're not going to notice pip. Yay. That was complex, huh? Backtrack. So if you're in a Windows, all right, you should probably have a folder somewhere in your machine. Again, it should be in your C drive called Python 34. If you might be using 2.7, I'm not sure why you'd be using that, but you might have a file called Python 27. I want you to go to your Python 34, and then I believe it's the exact same steps. I'm not completely sure, again, since I'm not using a Windows machine. If it's not the same steps, don't worry. Trust me, if you have Python 3.4, that means that you have pip downloaded, so just listen to me as I show Mac users. So now you should be in this folder, and it has pip and everything. So this basically means that, hey, we have pip. That's fantastic. So you're probably wondering, well, how do we use this pip? Okay. This is how we're going to do it. If you're on a Windows machine, it's pretty straightforward. You're going to do something like pip 3.4 install and then the module name. Okay. If you're in a Mac, however, you have to use the command sudo. So when installing any module with pip, it's done via the command line or the terminal. Okay. And the way this works is you have to specify, well, for a Mac at least, you want to make sure that there's no error for overwriting or stuff. You know, you've bypassed all the security reasons. So you write sudo for that. For Windows, I'm not sure you have to write sudo. Again, I'll double check and I'll probably update this lecture in the future, but for now, just let it go. Sudo, and then you want to type in pip 3.4. So this whole time when I was creating these lectures, I had a lot of trouble with pip. So back in 2.7, there was a completely different concept of doing this. You wouldn't write the pip 3.4. You had to download pip externally, stuff like that. But now it's become a lot more simple. Right now, actually, just go ahead and do this. Instead of writing anything, just type in pip 3.4. All right? And if something returns, okay, as you can see, something has returned. This means that pip has been downloaded to your machine, all right? So if you type in pip 3.4 into your terminal or command line, and if you see this result, then that means that pip is installed. Fantastic. And you can see the commands, all right? Install installs packages, uninstall uninstalls packages, show will show all the installed packages, stuff like that. Yeah. So let's go ahead and understand how to install a simple module, okay? So this following section is going to be about, or actually this section is going to be about parsing. So we learned about the re module, all right? And that was fantastic. That had some great concepts. We learned how to drill down our data, search for specific keywords and move on from there. However, that was time consuming, all right? You had to search for this, then drill down, add another 200 characters, drill down even further. And at the end of the day, you don't want to do that, right? You want a simple and easy HTML parser, okay? And this is what Beautiful Soup is. So again, the name is a bit intriguing. I mean, Beautiful Soup, what kind of package is that? But the core concept here is that Beautiful Soup will save our day. And it is, I believe, the #1 HTML parser in Python right now. And I'll be teaching you how to use it. So go ahead and type the following line if you're on a Mac. Sudo pip 3.4 Beautiful Soup 4. So Beautiful Soup 4, that's the version name. It's 4.0 right now. So sudo pip 3.4 Beautiful Soup 4 install. Again, if you're in a Windows, I believe, and I'm not completely sure here, I believe it's pip 3.4 Beautiful Soup 4 install. If you have any errors with the Windows, please leave a discussion, and then based on what you guys are saying, I'll definitely update this lecture to fix those issues. However, it should hopefully work. Sudo pip 3.4 Beautiful Soup 4 install. Hit enter and it now asks you what's your password. The reason why it's asking you what your password is because we use a sudo, and what sudo means is bypassing all those security issues. So go ahead, enter your password, and it gives me unknown command Beautiful Soup 4. So let's bring this back down. Let's try this one more time. That's odd, actually. Hit enter. Unknown command. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry. We're actually doing it opposite. Sudo pip 3.4 install and then the module name. Okay. So I'm sorry about that, guys. Bit of a brain freeze there. Sudo pip 3.4 install Beautiful Soup 4. Okay. And again, for the Windows, pip 3.4 install and then the module name. Hit enter. And it gives me, some green text. Forget about that. But it says over here, requirement already satisfied. Beautiful Soup in library frameworks, Python frameworks, blah, blah, blah. It's there. Now, if this is your first time downloading it, it should be successfully download Beautiful Soup 4, and that's fantastic. As you can see, I've already downloaded it because, I had to test it out in case it does work, and it's telling me that, hey, I've already downloaded it. And you can easily verify, again, going back to the same folder, just see what it's saying. Library, frameworks, Python.framework versions 3.4, lib, Python 3.4, site packages. That's exactly where we were. And as you can see, we have Beautiful Soup installed over here. So again, pretty cool, all right? We basically just install a Python module. Again, this is our first module that we've installed, so fantastic job. If it worked, awesome. If it didn't, show me a picture of your code or show me a picture of what's happening, and I'll definitely search on Stack Overflow. Again, most of the issues with pip have been solved on Stack Overflow online. So definitely if you're running into an issue, search it online, and in the end, worst case scenario, if it doesn't work, then I will personally look into your problem. Now, before I end this lecture, let's go ahead and install one more module that we'll require. And the reason why I'm installing this is because it will greatly simplify our lives. So go ahead, Mac Mini. What I want you to do is, again, bring our above code up. Okay. So we have sudo pip 3.4 install, and then instead of Beautiful Soup 4, I want you to install requests. Okay, so sudo pip 3.4 install requests. Ta-da! And you should now see successfully installed request 2.7. So requests will be the way we're gonna get the HTML of the website. Basically, it's a request to get the website's data, etc., etc. We'll talk about that more in the future lectures. Again, I think I've gone way too long this lecture, so I'm gonna cut it now. But I'll see you in the next lecture.